Sometimes the messages we never hear become the voices that haunt us forever.
The house was quiet, too quiet. Dust had settled over the framed photographs on the mantelpiece, each one holding moments that once made her heart warm. A mother's heart never forgets. But tonight it felt heavy, almost brittle. Aisha sat on the edge of her bed, clutching her phone with trembling fingers. The screen glowed faintly in the dim room, her son's name saved as My Hope. She had typed and erased a message 3 times already. It felt strange, pleading for attention from the very child she had once carried in her arms. Her chest tightened. The illness that had slowly crept into her body over the years now demanded its presence every day. Coughs rattled her lungs, weakness dragged her steps, and the silence of her home mocked her. She pressed the record button. Her voice came out softer than she intended, broken by breathlessness. "Beta, I know you are busy. I just wanted to hear your voice. I haven't seen you in weeks. If you can, maybe call me back. I miss you." She stopped, listening back to her own words, cracks in them, the longing, the loneliness. She didn't want him to feel guilty, just loved. She deleted it. She tried again. "My son, I cooked your favorite dish yesterday. I thought maybe if you came by we could share a meal. I don't eat much these days, but if you come, I'll try. Please, come delete." She recorded again, her hand shaking now. "Beta, I haven't been well. Some nights, I can't sleep because of the pain. But when I think of you, it eases for a while. Call me when you can. Your voice will make me better. This time." She saved it, pressed send, watched it go, her eyes wet with unshed tears. Across the city, her son Imran sat in a brightly lit living room. His wife laughed as she scrolled through videos on her phone. Their daughter practiced her dance routine in front of the TV. The air was filled with chatter, noise, and a kind of busyness that left no room for stillness. Imran's phone buzzed on the table. Another voice note from Ami. He glanced at it briefly, a flicker of hesitation crossing his face. His wife noticed. "Your mom again?" she asked, her tone not harsh but tired. "Yes," he sighed, picking up the phone and swiping it away without listening. "She always worries too much." "You should call her," his wife said, half-heartedly. "I will," he replied. But he didn't. There was always something else to do. Office deadlines, his daughter's school, weekend plans. He convinced himself that his mother understood. She always had. A mother's loneliness. Days passed. Each evening, Aisha sat by her window, waiting for footsteps that never came, a doorbell that never rang. Her neighbors visited sometimes, offering polite words, but they could not fill the space her son had left. She sent more voice notes, some cheerful, masking her pain. "My kid, I'm feeling much better today. May I live long enough to see your daughter grow? My son, my medicines are finishing. If you could send me some money, I'll manage." I didn't want to ask, and some simple, "I miss you." The phone remained silent. He read them, sometimes, but rarely replied. Her words sank into the endless void of his busy life. One evening, Aisha collapsed in her kitchen. The pot of tea spilled across the floor as pain seized her chest. A neighbor found her hours later and rushed her to the hospital. Lying on the hospital bed, tubes attached to her frail body, she whispered to the nurse, "Did anyone call me? Did my son come?" The nurse shook her head gently. Aisha smiled weakly, covering the crack in her heart. He must be busy. He's a good boy. Just busy. She asked for her phone, sent one more voicemail. Her voice, faint as a dying candle. Beta, I am in the hospital. Don't worry, it's nothing serious. But if you can, please come. I just want to see you. Only for a minute. She pressed send, then closed her eyes. At the same time, Imran was at a family dinner. His daughter laughed, his wife chatted, and the table was full of food. His phone buzzed again. He looked at it, frowned, then put it back in his pocket. Another message? His wife asked. Yes. She's at the hospital now, he muttered. Hospital? Then you should go. He shook his head. She always exaggerates. It's probably nothing. I'll visit next week. He didn't realize there would be no next week. 2 days later, he got the call. His mother had passed away quietly in her sleep. Alone. Imran's world tilted. His ears rang with silence, a silence heavier than anything he had ever felt. At her funeral, he stood at the edge, numb. The words of the imam blurred in his mind. He looked at her face one last time, pale and peaceful, and guilt tore through him like knives. He returned home, opened his phone, and for the first time, pressed play on her voicemails. Beta, I just want to see you. Your voice will make me better. I am in the hospital. Please come, only for a minute. Her last message ended with a cough, followed by silence. He pressed it again, and again. Tears streamed down his face. He realized then that he hadn't just ignored her calls, he had ignored her heart. Life moved forward. Imran tried to bury his guilt under work, under his family, but it lingered. His daughter grew up, fell in love, and one day left to start her own life. Imran smiled through it all, telling himself it was the way of the world. But at night, when the house was silent, he heard his mother's voice, echoing in his mind. My kid, I miss you. Imran couldn't remember the last time he had cried so openly. Not even at his father's passing had he felt such unbearable weight pressing on his chest. At his mother's funeral, he felt as though he was burying a piece of himself. The mourners eventually left, but Imran lingered. He knelt beside the fresh soil, his forehead pressed against the ground. Mom, forgive me. I wasn't there. I should have been, but I wasn't. I will carry this guilt forever. The words hung in the air, but no answer came. Only silence. The silence of a voice he would never hear again. Back home, Imran tried to return to routine, work, responsibilities, his wife and daughter. But grief doesn't obey time. It lingers, reshaping itself into guilt, into regret, into unspoken what-ifs. Every time his phone buzzed, he reached for it with a desperate hope that it might be his mother, only to be reminded of the truth. He began listening to her old voicemails late at night, clinging to the sound of her voice like a drowning man to a rope. Dear kid, if you come, maybe I'll eat. Your voice will make me better. Sometimes he would fall asleep with the phone still pressed to his ear, her voice echoing in his dreams. The daughter grows up years past. His daughter, she, grew into a bright young woman. Hina made friends, and then, as time does, she fell in love. Imran didn't mind at first, but slowly, her visits home became less frequent. Daddy, I'm busy with classes. Daddy, I'll come next weekend. Daddy, I promise I'll call. Excuses, promises, and the silence that followed. Deep inside in heart, a familiar ache grew. It was the same emptiness his mother once felt for him. She's becoming just like you were, his wife said quietly. You remember your mother's messages? Her loneliness? Imran, I see it happening again. Hina is drifting away, just like you once drifted. Her words pierced his heart. He couldn't deny it. History was repeating itself, and he was powerless to stop it. Oh, so one day, Hina eventually got married, and life, once again, had other plans. Weeks turned into months. Calls grew shorter, messages fewer, and eventually, silence. He left voicemails, sent texts, but the phone remained silent. Every day he checked. Every day his heart sank deeper. Years rolled by. Imran and his wife grew older. Their hair turned silver, their bodies weaker, and the cycle had come full circle. Then, one day, while cleaning an old drawer, he found his old phone, long unused for storage, still held unopened voice messages. He clicked one. It wasn't his mother's. It was Hina's voice, almost broken. Daddy, I didn't know how to tell you. I'm sick. The doctors say it's cancer. Last stage. Please forgive me. I miss you. Daddy. Imran froze. His breath caught in his throat. He played it again and again. Each word ripped him apart. She needed me, and I wasn't there, he whispered, collapsing onto the floor. He rushed to the hospital the very next morning, but when he arrived, it was too late. Hina had passed away hours before. Her husband said with grief, "She spoke of you often, Uncle. She always said she wanted to hear your voice one last time." Imran's knees gave way. He collapsed, his cries echoing through the sterile hospital halls. That night, Imran sat alone in the dark, listening once more to the voicemail, his mother's voice, his daughter's voice, both calling him, both unanswered. He realized then that regret is not a moment, it is a lifetime. Life had given him chances, twice, and twice he had lost. The story of Imran is not just about one man's tragedy. It is a mirror held up to life, a reminder that we often take the people who love us the most for granted. We believe they will always be there, that tomorrow will always come. But sometimes, tomorrow never arrives. The mother's voicemails, the daughter's final message, both carried the same truth. Love unexpressed becomes regret. Time wasted becomes grief. And so, as Imran's story closes, one truth remains for us. The listeners, answer the call, return the message, visit the people who wait for you, because one day their voice will fall silent, and then it will be too late.
If this story touched your heart, share it with someone you love. Remind them, remind yourself, that life is fragile and love should never be delayed. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we'll continue sharing stories that reflect life, love, and the lessons we often learn too late.